It's a Wednesday edition of Red Sox Now, presented by FanArch here on YouTube. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis, one of the radio and TV broadcasters for the Worcester Red Sox, and so much more. I'm also on social media at the Radio Mike. You can find me everywhere. Getting those TikTok followers. The young people are enjoying some of my TikTok stuff. I'm not doing the real cool things, but I invite you to follow me everywhere on social media, and also if you could subscribe and like and leave your comments below. We always we like the thumbs up, like too. And no matter what your comments, I'll respond to them through my personal YouTube, Mike Antonellis Media, and hope to hear from you. Another tough one, 4 in a row. This is kind of the blueprint. I posted this on Facebook. The starters have to be huge for the Red Sox. And, obviously what I mean by that is the starting pitching is really the only way you're going to stay in the game, and it has the last 2 games. More of a bullpen game on Tuesday, but it worked with Fitz, Bernardino, Weissert, Wilson, Slayton, all scoreless on the road on 3 hits. But it was a Kristen Yelich grand slam against Liam Hendricks in the 10th. And I've seen a lot of people tweet and comment about Hendricks and all that. Why is he in there? He shouldn't be on the roster. And all. You scored 1 run last night. So, yeah, I get what happened late, but you scored 1 run. That's all that matters. So you can blame the bullpen all you want. I mean, I don't know how much more a bullpen can eat. 6 1/3 innings is a lot on the road. More likely than not, when you're a starter, and in this case, it was for a reason because of injury, goes 3 innings, you're not winning those games on the road. The percentage is ridiculous. But again, 1 for 10, Red Sox with runners in scoring position. Milwaukee wasn't much better, but 3 for 15. That worked. But little things. You don't have to have a hit with a runner in scoring position to score runs. Big play, Meyer doubles, gets thrown out trying to stretch. Story didn't hit the ball deep enough for him to advance. They don't move runners over. They're not going to bunt, it looks like. I feel like now you got to kind of break out the old school. I think guys need to bunt. You're trying to get – your only run last night was on a wild pitch, right? That was it. By Ashby. That's the only reason Rafael has scored. Now, Devers did move him over, but that's how you got your only run last night. So it is a struggle. If you listen to Lou Maloney, with the Roman Anthony, I love Roman Anthony. Again, I've said this many times. I think he's going to be a superstar. He homered last night. I just don't think that is going to solve all your problems. Now, if you want him to come up because you feel like this Red Sox team just needs a spark, yeah. That's all that rah-rah stuff to me doesn't mean a lot. It's about performing. And I, like Lou, you're going to put 4 rookies in the lineup. You're going to put a lot on him because he's going to struggle at times. But, I guess you can argue with me and say, well, you're not scoring any runs now. True. But again, you still got to get him on the roster. You're still going to probably have 6 left-handed hitters in the lineup, which against any good big league lefty, you're going to struggle even more. So I'm all for it. I just want people's expectations to be tempered a little bit because a 3-4-5 right now of Narvaez, Campbell, and Abreu. I love Narvaez, but he's not a 3-hitter. We're putting a lot on Campbell, and he has been struggling for a while, and that's what happens with these young players. So if he goes up, please temper your expectations. He could start out of the gate 10 for 20, but he could also go 1 for 20. So just bear with it if it does happen, and I think it definitely will because it seems like the writers are talking about it a lot, and they usually know stuff. Richard Fitz, I've loved him from the start. This was a great move. This was part of the Alex Verdugo trade, so it's kind of a continuation. Weiser, too. It's kind of the Mookie Betts in the family trade because Verdugo you got for Betts. Fitz skipped Worcester, and this is hard to do. Only his second rehab start. You asked him to do it in the big leagues where the pitches are more pressure. He gets through it scoreless with 3 innings, 2 hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts, 29 of 44 pitches for strikes. Don't you love his demeanor? I love it. I just love the way he pitches, and it will be interesting to see what all shakes up. I think with Newcomb DFA'd, that tells us all we need to know, that they trust Hunter Dobbins in the bullpen. Dobbins will back up Brian Bayo. How about that? I thought Dobbins would be available for Fitz last night, and Alex Cora decided not to because they're worried about Bayo because he hasn't been able to give you innings. So Dobbins will be the piggyback guy today, depending on what happens. Piggyback means he would go an extended amount of time. So if Bayo only gives you 3-4 innings, you could see Dobbins in there 4 or 5. That would be ideal today as the Red Sox play day game, and really they're starving for a victory. Boy, Marcelo Meyer looks good at the plate, doesn't he? I mean, he really does. 2 more hits after going 0 for 4. He's 5 for his last 11. He did make a bad base running play, but he'll learn. He has 2 doubles. He walked. He looks good at third base. Again, he's looked good, but temper your expectations because these young guys, are going to struggle. The big thing for me this year with the Red Sox is they are so extreme, if you think about it. The way they started the season, Devers couldn't hit for 4 games, but other guys hit, like Campbell. Now Campbell is in such a deep slump. Story is in a deep slump. It is way, way up here and way below. And I think their starting pitching has been like that. You've gotten really great performances, but then also Houck, giving you nothing. Bayo's giving you pretty much nothing. It's been all over the place. I still think the bullpen has been pretty darn consistent. You look at the ERAs, Bernardino, Weissert, Wilson, Chapman. I know he blew his first save last night. These guys have all been pretty good. They've worked a lot, but way too up and down offensively. Rafael is now on a down spot. He's down to 221. But Marcelo looking good again, and so great to see from him. So, as we kind of are getting close, do we see the Roman Empire heading to Boston soon? And if we do see that, will there be a move made? Will the Red Sox try to go out and acquire something? What about pitching? Is that a crazy thing? What kind of bat would you want to see in Boston? I've said Luis Robert. I've said Hunter Renfroe. Is there any other teams that are struggling that maybe they could pluck someone from? I mean, I had a crazy thought yesterday is with Baltimore. I think you're kind of looking for a buy low guy. Wouldn't a Ryan Mountcastle at first base? I know he's been struggling, but he's a right-handed hitter. I think you need that. If you call up Anthony, I think you still need a little more protection in the middle of that lineup and try to get yourself a right-handed hitter that can play first base, because right now it doesn't look like Devers is going to slide over there. I don't like the idea of Campbell. So a right-handed batting first baseman would be ideal if the Red Sox, and a buy low guy. And maybe Renfroe, who was DFA'd, comes here. I don't know. But I would take a flyer on somebody right now. By the way, Roman Anthony did homer last night, again, for the Worcester Red Sox, who are on a road trip in Scranton against the Yankees affiliate. All right, that's going to do it for a Wednesday edition of Red Sox Now. It's presented by Fan Arch here on YouTube. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis. Please comment, subscribe, and share the video. We'll talk to you again on Thursday. Red Sox play a day game today. Bayo is on the bump. We'll talk all about it on Thursday. Have yourself a great Wednesday. Let's go Red Sox.